Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. Today guys, I'll be checking out this interesting video and it's titled Jojo Brown uncovers Fani Willis IRS expose clips. You guys, I'm excited for this. If you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please consider subscribing. Give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share, and all that good stuff. And without much ado, let's see what this video is all about.
Okay. Paying cash.
I'm sure IRS had a giggle moment with that. And they listen to these things, by the way.
The IRS?
Yeah, they do. I had a former cousin-in-law who was a chief investigator for IRS. She said she liked listening on these programs and instructed her staff. They were investigators in the criminal section to see what they were talking about, and they'd follow up. Got a lot of prosecutions out of it.
I think I've heard that.
And she was talking about withdrawals more than 10,000 cash and stuff. So, I mean, it's sort of like, yeah, okay. And then I want to see what happens with the result of these specific transportation tickets that the wife of Wade introduced in her proceedings against him. And they list her name and they list the flight and they list his name and his flight, same flight. She filed hotel accommodations in the trial, the DMV area, as she calls it. Well, interesting coincidence that she did not know he was there at the same time and he was in the same hotel, or seat D when she was in seat C, same on the airplane. But
she kept saying that she has, at one point up to 15,000 in her house in cash, and she would give him cash. She gave him 2,400 for his birthday, and when they went on a cruise, she paid him back in cash. And she's lying. Because
for sure.
Yeah, she's lying because she refused to say she used her debit card. And in this clip that I'm going to show, she was saying
Well, wait a minute. That's what I said. See, what she's testifying to is Attorney General for a district in Atlanta, Georgia, is federal criminality in violation of the Internal Revenue Code. Yeah. So that's interesting that the DA is on the witness stand under oath testifying to engaging in criminality. And see, if she had thought about it, what she should have done? Taken the Fifth Amendment. See, she didn't think. She's supposed to be the chief prosecutor and she doesn't know the Fifth Amendment. It's like,
because she wanted to get up here and run her mouth to say, I'm right, you're wrong, you're a liar. But I'm going to play this clip.
You never wrote him a check?
Ma'am, I don't have checks.
Okay. So you have no proof of any reimbursement for any of these things because it was all cash, right?
The testimony of one witness is enough to prove a fact.
So my question was, do you have any proof?
Is that what you're intimating right here?
I'm asking if you have any proof that you paid for any of these.
The proof is what I just told you.
You have no written proof. Is that correct?
So I have some, probably some transactions like in Belize. I probably spent $500 on my card in Belize. I spent $900 on each of our tickets to go to Belize. I did the $700. I probably got some minor expenses in Aruba that would be on a card. But for the most part, for those trips, other than, so the 2 cruises, I gave him money for those before we ever left. Because they were pre-booked. Let me answer.
Well, the question was if you had any written proof. And so
I've answered you that
You guys, this is getting more and more funny. Because I don't know how a whole district attorney can be caught up in this kind of mess. Fani Willis should have known better than this. And let me know what you guys think about this so far. Leave it in the comment section down below. And let's continue watching, you guys.
That I've had written
We
proof
can move
for
to the next question. If you've answered, if you had any written proof, and that was my question.
I want to make sure that we're clear that for the 2 cruises,
Judge,
that's
I
the
asked if
cruise
she gave him
plus
written
Aruba.
proof.
We're not going to talk over each other. Ms. Merchant, she answered your question, so we can ask the next question. Ms. Willis and Ms. Cross will have plenty of opportunities.
Stop a second.
She
She didn't answer it well, so she thought she was being slick. So it looks like the judge is defending her, but actually she just got trapped in a bad situation because as it is right now, she's paid out a considerable amount of money in cash. It was not reported to IRS. There are potential taxes due to him. And when you start dealing with transactions over a certain amount, somebody wants to be privy to receipts. Where are the receipts? So that's interesting that when the judge cut that off, it looks like he's helping her out. Actually, he left her in a bad place that she put herself.
That's true.
Now, keep going. And one other further thing. He's going to be the decision maker. There's no jury. So
the judge is going to decide if she will be removed from the case.
Yeah, the judge, and there's some other things too. She's an officer of the court, and she acts through him, so she has betrayed her obligation to represent him responsibly as an officer of his court. So she's subject to sanctions that he can administer for her violation of his trust in her as an officer of the entity that he represents.
When you're running as district attorney, you know that public funds are scrutinized and money is scrutinized and things like that. You understand.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
You understand you're under a microscope. You have reporting requirements, all of those types of things. You have no record other than your testimony of the money that you've given Mr. Wade.
You've already asked that question. Let's keep going.
He just put her
When
in
you took
a mess
office, you
again.
had a tax lien of 4.
Stop. See, ordinarily, if there's a jury, he'd probably let that question go in because the jury may or may not have heard it. They adrift, but he's heard it, so he's the decision maker, the trier of fact. He doesn't need to hear it again. And by listening carefully and reading between the lines, you can tell where it is in his head. Now, he doesn't mean that that's going to be conclusive, but those look like pretty much that's chiseled in stone. You know, these are going to be the facts. And when we get back and we'll look at them, they're going to be up there. So, yeah, okay.
$4,600. Did you pay that with cash when you made that tax lien whole?
I probably paid through however you pay.
Okay. Stop
But
again.
you were saying that
Stop again. See, there's another thing in here. She's opening herself up for further prosecutions because I'm sure the state of Georgia, like every other one, has a reporting requirement when an official spends funds that are going to be reimbursed by the state or that come out of state funding that has been appropriated to somebody's office. They're going to require careful rationalization. In other words, where are your receipts, et cetera, et cetera. So since this is to an extent subject to funds that were reimbursed, it's going to be problematical because to a great extent, the issue is, why didn't you disclose to somebody that you had a very personal relationship with this guy when he's supposed to be, quote, unquote, independent counsel who has no connection with the district attorney's office? So if he's betting the district attorney, that's very intimate, hot, wet, and juicy.
Wow, you guys, the more and more this hearing goes on, the more Fani Willis shoots herself in the leg. Either way, she has a case on her hand. First of all, if she claims to have paid Nathan Wade with cash back, that means she has a case with the IRS. And if she didn't pay him back with her check, that means they've been spending from the state pocket to their various places of vacation. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section. I think Fani Willis is way too deep in this mess than she thinks. And her attitude is not giving district attorney, but rather is giving ghetto superstar, like Candace Owens said. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And let's wrap this video up, you guys.
Connection with the entity. So that's where this is going. That's the relevance.
That you had amounts of cash. You still had that lien in 2022 when you were dating Wade and going on these trips. So the cash that you gave him, that could have been used to pay this tax lien off?
You gonna tell me how to pay my bills?
This is not relevant as it relates to why we're here today.
Ms. Merchant, are you trying to establish that she was insolvent in some way?
I definitely was trying to establish that she did not have these mass amounts of cash that she's talking about. Yes.
In other words, stop it. He's going to show that she is perjuring herself because she has made statements that closely proximate to this time she was destitute and broke. So if she's claiming to be destitute and broke due to a 2016 or 18 campaign, I forget which, how does she have all this cash money right in hand if she's supposed to be flat broke busted?
Exactly.
See, she's being slick.
She's been busted.
And when the judge is listening to it, see, one witness has testified over here, another one's over here. This has come out there, and it's like a canvas, but you have different painters come in, and they're all painting a picture that the trier of fact, who is not a jury here, but the judge can look at and say, I can make out what's up there. Now, how does this fit in with what you may have? I don't know if you're going to, with the testimony about her from her about being flat broke busted. Or at least they were questioning her about statements she had made that had been published about being flat broke busted. In other words, now she's saying she had $15,000 in cash in the apartment, and she's saying she had this amount of cash, but at other stages, I forget where we are right now on the examination, cross-examination of the witness, one of the parties to this action here. But it has come out that she is supposed to be destitute and busted. So that seems like interesting testimony for somebody who's in that financial condition. Go ahead.
All right.
Sorry.
Re-ask the question.
You had a tax lien in 2022.
Bottom and the left on this.
You say I did?
And you did not use this cash that you had to reimburse Mr. Wade to pay that off, correct?
No. I went shopping too when I didn't pay it off.
And you talked about
Stop.
a lot of interviews.
That was totally inappropriate and idiotic. How do you get to be a DA and be so damn
I
stupid?
don't even know.
You don't do that.
What do we call that? Too smart for your own good, or
No, that's just being an ass.
okay? She was an asshole today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And see, you don't do that. And this comes from the arrogance that I have seen. And I won't be sexist when I say it. It's an observation. A lot of women professionals have this kind of attitude. It's like if it was in a guy, it would be obnoxiously cocky. In other words,
That's fair.
back off a little bit. What the hell do you think you're doing? This is the guy that all your shit hangs on. This is the trier effect. That's like being obnoxious and arrogant with a jury. You just don't do this. And see, that's how you could get this kind of female lawyer to lose case after case. You would evoke her ego, and you would, during the trial, exhibit some humility, and she thinks she's got you, so she would keep attacking you because I'm going to beat this guy. I'm going to beat Joe Brown. He thinks he's all this and that. I'm going to show him. And while she's trying to show everybody how she can beat you, you're kicking her ass and she doesn't realize it because you're focused on the case. She's focused on you. And see, this kind of attitude is endemic to what happens. You're not there for a purpose, which is to represent the state of Georgia. You're there because you're showing out about yourself. Now, go on.
Right.
I would not characterize it as a lot. I probably have spoken to them 2 or 3 times.
My question is relevant as to
I think it's already come up that finances are discussed in the book. I'll overrule that.
Thank you.
Ms. Willis, you can continue your answer.
what came up with Mr. Wade as these hearsay statements that he was asked about in relation to what Ms. Willis may or may not have said in relation to an author. So it's not relevant to the testimony that's occurring at this time.
I think Ms. Merchant has said that inside the book, she also makes a statement as to her own.
By the way, what you had right there, you see the judge overruled the objection. They were trying to save her. But the bottom line is it was relevant. This judge impressed me. He knows what he's doing.
Wow, you guys, that was such an interesting one. And the most annoying part of this Fani Willis hearing is that she thinks that this is her show and this is all about her. But she doesn't know that this is not all about her, but all about her misconduct and how she spent the state's money. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. What do you think the fate of Fani Willis will be after all of this hearing? Leave it in the comment section. And I really had fun reacting to this video. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.